Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for this session on savings plans, a new flexible pricing model that we launched in November 2019. I'm Pranesh Ramalingam, Principal Product Manager on EC2, and I'm here with my colleague Matt Kausert, Senior Product Manager for AWS Insights. Today, we're going to spend some time talking about savings plans. By the end of the session, you will be able to walk with a good understanding of what savings plans are, how they work, and how you can use and manage them. Over the course of the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to talk about the evolution of the various pricing models on EC2. We learn about savings plans, what they are, how you can purchase them, how you can manage them, and how you can work with them from a billing perspective. Then Matt here will walk you through a demo of the savings plans experience. And at the end, we'll do a Q&A to answer any questions that you may have. So let me first walk you through our journey up to this point from a pricing model perspective on EC2. We launched EC2 in 2006, and at that time, the on-demand pricing model was the only option on EC2. This pricing model works really well for customers that have short-term, unpredictable, and spiky workloads. It helped customers iterate faster and provided much-needed flexibility. With this pricing model, customers were able to take advantage of the scale of the cloud because it eliminated undifferentiated heavy lifting. This also meant that customers could continuously experiment with their workloads and roll out changes faster. Customers no longer had to worry about the cost and complexity of purchasing, managing, and maintaining their hardware, and instead they could focus their energies on building their application and providing their end consumer the best possible experience. With time, customers told us that they wanted a more predictable pricing model, though, that could help them save money on their usage. And that's how we came up with the reserved instance or RI pricing model. RIs offer significant savings, up to 72% off the on-demand price, in exchange for making a commitment to a specific instance configuration. For example, if you make a 1-year commitment to an M5.extra large running Linux on default tenancy in the US East 1 region, then you can receive significant savings when you run that instance configuration. RIs soon became one of the most popular purchasing options on EC2, and they helped customers save a lot of money since launch, and our customers really liked the significant savings that came with them. And over time, we made lots of changes to RIs based on customer feedback that had made them easier to use. In 2012, we launched the RI Marketplace, a platform that allows customers to sell their RIs in case their compute needs change, to buyers that might be interested in the same RI. Then in 2016, we launched regional RIs. These RIs make it easy for customers to take advantage of the RI's discount on instance usage in any AZ in a given region. And at the same time, we also launched convertible RIs. This type of RI allows customers to change the RI during its term while still providing significant savings. And finally, in 2017, we launched instance size flexibility on regional RIs. With this capability, customers could now not only take advantage of the RI discount across any size within an instance family, but also across any AZ in a region. Our customers were telling us that they really liked all these changes on RIs and all these enhancements. But even with all of these changes, our customers told us that they wanted an easier way to save money on EC2 for a couple of different reasons. First, the scale at which our customers are operating on EC2 today is unprecedented. EC2 offers the broadest and deepest selection of compute instances on the cloud, with over 290 different plus instance types in 22 regions around the world. We offer instance types that are optimized to fit various different use cases with varying combinations of CPU and storage and networking capacity. In addition, we have new compute models, including container services, such as Amazon ECS, Amazon EKS, and serverless options, such as AWS Fargate. Our customers love the innovation that comes out of AWS, and they like that they're able to take advantage of the latest and greatest in technology. Because as we deliver the latest and greatest of compute in the hands of our customers, this helps them run their workloads with a much better performance and at a lower price point. However, managing their spend at this scale became challenging, and customers wanted an easier way to save money at this scale while taking advantage of the compute innovation from AWS. Secondly, our customers were telling us that they wanted a way to save money even as their needs change. Our customers, like many of you listening to this webinar today, operate in very dynamic environments. Their needs change quite rapidly, either because they want to re-architect their application on a new instance type to meet their growth needs, or they want to move their application to a different region to be closer to where their end users are, or simply because their business strategy has changed. Our customers are telling us that they wanted a way to save money while having the ability to make changes in response to changes in their requirements and lower their spend without incurring any management overhead. So we took all of this feedback from our customers and thought about this long and hard. And we asked ourselves, what can we do here to solve for these challenges, and went back to the drawing board. And that's how we came up with the idea for savings plan. So what are they? It's a new flexible pricing model that offers significant savings on EC2, Fargate, and more recently, even on Lambda usage. Customers simply commit to a consistent amount of usage, let's say $10 an hour, over a 1 or 3 year term, and in exchange, they will receive a lower price for that usage. Savings plans offer significant savings just like RIs, but with greater flexibility. So how does it work? Every type of compute usage has an on-demand price and a savings plan price. So let's say an M5 extra large running Linux on default tenancy in US East 1 will have an on-demand price and a savings plan price. If a customer commits to $10 an hour of compute usage, then they will get the savings plan prices on all their usage up to $10. Any usage beyond their commitment will be charged at the regular on-demand rates. So why should you as a customer buy savings plans? First, they're super easy to use. You no longer have to make commitments to specific instance configurations and can easily save money just by committing to a dollar spend. This abstracts away all the specificity since you no longer have to worry about which particular instance type or operating system you're committing to, and makes it easy for you to work with. Secondly, they provide significant savings, up to 72% off of on-demand, just like RIs. And we know that our customers really like these steep discounts. And finally, they provide a ton of flexibility. With a savings plan, all you have to do is make a simple commitment to a dollar spend per hour, and you will save money on your usage automatically, even as that usage changes from one region to another, or from one instance type to another, or even if you move from, say, EC2 to Fargate or EC2 to Lambda. So this means now you have the ability to re-architect your application or take advantage of the latest instance type and not have to worry about making exchanges or modifications and automatically continue to save money. Now let's dig deeper into savings plans. Let's take a look at the types of savings plans that are available for you to choose from. There are 2 types of savings plans. Compute savings plans to the left, and as you can see on the left of your screen, and EC2 instance time savings plans that you can see to the right of your screen. Compute savings plans provide the most amount of flexibility. These allow you to change your usage across instance family, so you can move from C5 to M5. They allow you to move across regions. Let's say you want to move from EU Ireland to EU London because you want to be closer to your users, or you can shift from Windows to Linux, or you can move from dedicated instances to default tenancy instances, or you can also move from EC2 to Fargate. In February 2020, we launched the ability to save money on Lambda with compute savings plans. So that means that you can use your compute savings plan and move from EC2 to Fargate or EC2 to Lambda and still save money. EC2 instance savings plans, the type that you can see to the right of your screen, these offer our lowest prices in exchange for a commitment to a specific family in a region. The EC2 instance savings plan requires you to make a commitment to a specific family in a region, which reduces our cost, and we pass along those cost reduction to you in the form of the greatest amount of savings. With these savings plans, you have the flexibility to change across sizes, operating system, or tenancy within that family in that region. So if you commit to an M5 in Northern Virginia, you can move from an M5.XL to an M5.4XL, or change from M5.XL Windows to Linux, or modify from M5.XL dedicated instance to M5.XL default tenancy instance, and automatically continue to save money. Continuing with the various different types of savings plans. Savings plans are also available in 3 different payment options, just like what you have on EC2 RIs. The no upfront option does not require any upfront payment, and your commitment will be charged purely on a monthly basis. The partial upfront option offers lower prices on savings plans. With this option, you will be charged at least half of your commitment upfront, and the remaining will be charged on a monthly basis. With the all upfront option, you will receive the lowest prices, and your entire commitment will be charged in one payment. Savings plans are also available for different term lengths, just like RIs. They're available for 1 and 3 year terms, and 3-year term savings plans offer you the lowest prices. Now let's take a quick look at RIs and how they compare with savings plans. Here's a quick chart that shows you the comparison between the two products, and you can kind of see how they line up against each other. As you can see in the leftmost column, compute savings plans offer the most flexibility and provide up to 66% off, just like convertible RIs. In terms of differences with convertible RIs, there are 3 key differences. 1, compute savings plans apply automatically without requiring any intervention from your side. So you no longer have to worry about what to exchange into, when to exchange, or even optimizing your true-up charges. 2, compute savings plans apply across regions. And finally, compute savings plans also apply to Fargate and Lambda usage. EC2 instant savings plans, the second column from the left, provide the lowest price, up to 72% off, just like standard RIs. However, while some standard RIs, like the regional RIs on Linux, Unix, tenancy, offer size flexibility, EC2 instant savings plan take this even further and not only provide size flexibility, but also provide operating system and tenancy flexibility. So now that you have a decent understanding of savings plans, let's take a look at how you can get started with savings plans and how you can work with them. In the next few slides, I'm going to be walking through how you can purchase savings plans and how you can manage them. Savings plans is the easiest way to save money on compute usage on AWS. Customers can sign up for savings plans in a few simple steps using the AWS Cost Explorer. In AWS Cost Explorer, you will be presented with recommendations on the optimal commitment you should make. You can customize the recommendations based on your needs. That is the type of savings plan, EC2 instance or compute, the payment option that you want to choose from, or the term length. You can then review your hourly commitment for the savings plan based on the recommendation and add it to the cart. Once you execute your purchase, your savings plans will go active and your eligible usage will start to get charged at the savings plan rates. Now let's look at some other considerations that you probably need to keep in mind when it comes to purchasing savings plans. So where in your account hierarchy can you buy savings plans? A lot of AWS customers operate in multi-account environments. In a multi-account environment, one account is designated as a payer, and all the other accounts are what we call as linked accounts. Savings plans is a flexible pricing construct and can be purchased at any account in your AWS organization, just like RIs. You can buy it at the linked account or the payer account. By default, the benefits of savings plans apply to your entire organization. But if you want, you can choose to disable the sharing benefit of savings plans, just like RIs. And if you disable the sharing benefit, then the savings plan benefit will only apply to the account that owns the savings plan. So now let's say that you've decided to buy your savings plan at the payer account because that's where you want to buy your savings plan for your organization so that it's easy for your entire organization to take advantage from it. And it also helps you from a management standpoint. So let's say you've decided to make that decision, and now you want to take advantage of the recommendations that savings plans provide. So let's talk about how savings plan recommendations work and how we actually calculate those recommendations for you. So here's a brief overview on that. The first thing we do is establish your baseline. So we look at your on-demand usage and any savings plan usage that you already have on an hour-by-hour basis for the last 7, 30, or 60 days. And you can choose to tell us what kind of usage you want us to look at on a historical basis, whether you want it to be this last 7, 30, or 60 days. Since your RIs apply before your savings plans, we discard the RI covered usage, so we aren't providing a savings plan recommendation for your RI covered usage. So we're only looking at your on-demand usage and any usage that is already covered by your savings plan. And for that usage, we calculate what your bill would be based on the savings plans that you own right now. So that gives us something to compare to, and it allows us to take into account the savings plan that you recently purchased or the savings plans that are recently expired. From there, we add a little bit of savings plan commitment and recompute the bill again. And then if the bill goes down, we keep doing it. We repeat the process over and over for these various commitment levels to find the commitment level that reduces your bill as much as possible and then provide that as a recommendation. And the way we recompute the bill is the same way in which as the AWS compute engine actually computes your actual bill. We take into account affinity so that we assume that savings plans apply to the usage in the account that owns them first, and then to other usage everywhere else in the consolidated billing family. And when we take into account the same application order of savings plans. We'll talk about the application order of savings plans in just a little bit. But the key thing to note is that the way in which we simulate your bill is the same way in which the actual billing engine computes your bill. So now let's make this real, right? Let's look at a more realistic scenario. Let's say you have usage like what we've shown on the screen here for the last 30 days. As you can see, there's some hour-to-hour variation. It's primarily steady, but on the weekends, looks like some workloads get turned off. So what would a recommendation for some scenario like this look like when this is a usage profile? So as I mentioned earlier, with savings plans, you're charged the savings plan rate for your usage up to your commitment amount. So your commitment amount will be at the discounted rate. And that's what's great about recommendations. We look at this usage for you and we figure out the commitment level that maximizes your savings. So we simulate your bill for this usage and the potential commitment amounts during this time period, and we recommend the commitment amount that will result in the highest possible savings. So we start off by assuming a small amount of savings plan commitment. We ratchet it up until we get to a point where you are going to end up with the most amount of savings and make that as the recommended commitment. So now if you look at the screen, you can see that there's a recommended commitment amount, the blue line that you can see. And you can see that you still have some hour-to-hour variability above the blue line. And that's because our recommendation engine actually looks at your usage holistically. And sometimes it's probably better to have some of your variability in usage remain as on demand. You can see some of these spikes above the blue line, and that's the variable usage, because it doesn't make sense to try to cover that because there maybe isn't enough of variability, or that's just a spiky usage that wouldn't benefit from the savings plan commitment. At the end of the day, our recommendation engine is trying to optimize for the lowest bill you're going to pay as a customer, and that's what the recommended commitment amount takes into account. Now, let's say you've purchased your savings plans, you've bought your savings plans at the payer account, you looked at the recommendation, you know how your recommendations work, and you use those recommendations, and you actually went and bought them. Well, let's walk through how all of your products are applied together to all your usage. Let's say you own both RIs and savings plans. Whenever we apply a product, regardless of RI or savings plans, AWS will first apply it to the account that owns it, and then to all the other accounts in the AWS organization. We call this as account affinity. So in terms of auto application, AWS will first apply your zonal RIs. These are RIs that provide a capacity reservation and savings, followed by regional RIs, which apply across different AZs and sizes, and then your EC2 instance savings plans, and then your compute savings plans. As I said previously, both RIs and savings plans will always first apply to the account that owns them, followed by providing a benefit to all the other accounts in an AWS organization. So what that means is that zonal RIs will first apply to the owning account, then to other accounts, then regional RIs, and then AWS will apply EC2 instance savings plans to the owning account and then all the other accounts, and then your compute savings plans. When we start applying your savings plans, we start applying these savings plans to usage, starting with the highest discount percentage to lowest discount percentage. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you have an M5 savings plans in Northern Virginia, and the M5.xlarge on Linux offers 60% discount, and an M5.xlarge on Windows offers 50% discount, and you have both of those instances running. Then the savings plan will first apply to the M5.xlarge instance on Linux because it offers a higher discount percentage, and then it will apply to the Windows because it offers a lower discount percentage. Once we've exhausted all your EC2 instance savings plans, then we will apply your compute savings plans. And then anything that's finally remaining will get charged at the on-demand rates. So now that we've seen, how you can buy a savings plan, how the recommendations work, and how your products are actually applied, let's look at how your savings plan manifests on the bill. On the bills page, you will see savings plan in a category of its own. Under this section, you will see the charges split out by region. Your compute savings plans will show up under the region marked as NE. This is because compute savings plans apply to all regions globally. Any EC2 instance savings plans you have will show up under that specific region. So in this particular case, my EC2 instance savings plans for Northern Virginia, as you can see them, I have some I3 EC2 instance savings plans and G3 EC2 instance savings plans, and they're showing up under the Northern Virginia section. And all my compute savings plans are showing up in the region NE because these apply globally. Now let us walk through how your savings plan manifests in the cost and usage report or the CUR. For those of you that are not familiar, the AWS Cost and Usage Report tracks your AWS usage and provides estimated charges associated with your AWS account. I'm going to walk through 4 important line items for savings plans and explain those with some snippets. We've added a bunch of columns in the Cost and Usage Report for savings plans, but for sake of better readability, I'm focusing only on a few of these for sake of ease and for sake of better readability. Let's first take a look at the savings plan upfront fee line item. This line item gets added whenever you sign up for a savings plan with an upfront payment. For example, a partial upfront or all upfront. As you can see on the screen right now, when you purchase any savings plan with an upfront payment, this one-time fee appears in the AWS Cost and Usage Report as the savings plan upfront fee line item. And in my snippet, you can see 2 of these as one for $100 and one for $50 for 2 compute savings plans that I bought. Now let's take a look at the savings plan recurring fee line item in the Cost and Usage Report. This line item is added for any savings plan that has a recurring fee component to it, such as a partial upfront or a no upfront savings plan. So we made some changes here based on customer feedback, especially how as it relates to RIs. With RIs, this recurring fee shows up as one lumpy charge on the first of every month. But in the case of savings plan, we've actually modified it such that it's actually added for every hour of the day, or for every hour or every day, depending on whether you're looking at an hourly or a daily cost and usage report at the time of purchase for all the hours or days in that month. So why is this helpful? Because with RIs, customers were telling us that these monthly charges would show up on the first of the month on their cost and usage report as one lumpy amount, and that kind of messed up with the way in which they would associate their chargebacks and they would associate their spend. Whereas now with savings plans, it's one smooth, evened out charges that kind of appears throughout the various points of time in the month, which makes it easier for customers to consume those charges. Now let's take a look at how you can understand which usage got covered by savings plans and how much of your OD spend was covered by savings plans. And we're going to look at 2 line items in the cost and usage report that kind of help you with that: the savings plan covered usage and the savings plan negation line item. Now, why is this important? We know that for customers, understanding their costs and savings across accounts is super important because that's what helps them carry out chargebacks to effectively understand the cost of specific projects so that they can accurately go and calculate P&Ls for their various BUs and create the right behavior or incentives in their organization. And we've made this process easier for our customers in the case of savings plans based on what we were hearing from customers with RIs. So with RIs today, what we do is that we charge any usage that is covered by RIs at a $0 price point to show that that particular usage was covered by RIs. But what this did was what made it hard for customers to understand the savings that they got from their RIs, since there wasn't an easy way to understand what would the OD charge for that usage have been if the customer didn't have RIs. So if a customer wanted to go allocate the savings of their RIs in a manner that their accounting team requires or in any manner that their finance team requires, this became hard. So we took this feedback and we've made changes to how savings plans are manifested in the curve. So what we do with savings plans is rather than zeroing out any usage that is covered by the savings plan, we first charge all the usage at on-demand rates and then wipe out the OD charges for the usage that is covered by savings plan. So as I mentioned, this is what we expose in the form of savings plan covered usage and savings plan negation line item. The savings plan covered usage line item describes the usage that received the savings plan benefit, and the savings plan negation line item shows how much of OD charges were wiped out by savings plan. So let's take a look at a snippet to understand that. So I have a compute savings plan and I'm running T3.nano instances. First, let's take a look at how much of my usage was covered by T3.nano instances. The usage that is covered by my savings plan, as I mentioned earlier, will show up as the savings plan covered usage line item. So in the snippet on the screen that you can see, the first 3 rows you see here, these are the usage that were covered by my savings plan. And you can kind of see that as the savings plan covered usage line item. And we show them at the on-demand rate, even though this was covered by the savings plan. Then you can see the last line item, which is the savings plan negation line item. And this is basically the line item that wipes out the OD usage that was covered by savings plan. And that's why you can see a negative line number there, the negative 0.013. That's the summation of all the OD charges of the instances that were covered by savings plan, and we're wiping them out. This now helps you understand what your savings are easily and allocate these savings as you want across your BUs based on your internal chargeback processes. So now that we've looked at savings plans in some amount of detail, let's take a step back and understand what this means for RIs. So you can continue purchasing RIs. We're not taking RIs away. EC2 will continue offering RIs. And you can continue buying RIs to maintain compatibility with your existing cost management processes. And your RIs will work alongside savings plans to reduce your overall bill. However, we think that many customers will prefer savings plans for its simplicity and flexibility. So as your RIs expire, you should look to sign up for savings plans to reduce your bill with little management overhead. And as you probably realized by now, savings plans provide a lot of flexibility and easily reduce your bill. For your compute capacity needs, you can reserve EC2 capacity with on-demand capacity reservations, a product that helps you reserve capacity to meet your compute requirements without entering into long-term commitments. And if you have active savings plans, your on-demand capacity reservation usage will be charged at savings plan rates, which helps you reduce your overall spend. Now with that, I'm going to hand it over to Matt. Matt is going to walk you through how you can get started with savings plans in AWS Cost Explorer. He's going to show you how you can easily purchase them and work with them in the form of a demo right now.
Thanks, Pranesh. As Pranesh mentioned, I'm Matt Kalsert, a product manager on the AWS Cost Management team. We're responsible for services such as Cost Explorer, which we'll go through today, AWS budgets, as well as the cost and usage report. With the launch of savings plans, you now have a central place to understand your savings opportunities. You can purchase savings plans against our recommendations or a custom commitment amount, as well as track your savings plans inventory, utilization, and coverage. If this isn't your first time using Cost Explorer, you'll notice that we've recently made some changes to the left-hand nav as a part of launching savings plans. So on the left-hand side here, we have the savings plan inventory where you have the overview, an inventory view, your recommendations, custom commitment purchases, utilization, as well as coverage report. So we're going to start with the recommendations. So by viewing the recommendations options, you're going to see that we're going to provide custom recommendations based off of your last 7, 30, or 60 days worth of usage across your entire consolidated billing family. You can further customize your recommendations, as Pranesh had mentioned earlier, by savings plan type, term, and payment option that meets your specific needs. Based on my current configuration, we're recommending a savings plan purchase of 70 cents an hour. And with that purchase, I'm estimated to save $88 a month by purchasing this compute savings plans. Moving down to the monthly on-demand spend, I currently have $661 worth of on-demand spend that's compute eligible usage. And so that, again, is going to be my EC2 usage, my Fargate usage, as well as my Lambda usage with our most recent launch. With the next KPI, which is focused on post-purchase, that my estimated monthly savings will now be $674 a month, which equates to 92 cents an hour, and my estimated monthly savings is $88 or 12 cents an hour. As we scroll further down, you can see that we have the ability to see the recommended compute savings plans. And so again, this is based off of the configurations that I'd said before with a 1-year term, an all upfront payment option, and then this provides the recommended commitment as well as the estimated hourly savings. So if I want to add this to cart, I simply click this box that says Add Selected Savings Plans to Carts. And you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner our cart modal, which gives me a summary view of the savings plans that I've selected, my total monthly payment paid, and then what I expect to pay today. So the total paid monthly is what my recurring fee, which is 0 because this is an all upfront view, and then the total that I would be expected to pay at checkout. If we go back to the KPIs, you also realize that we have the estimated monthly spend that's 92 cents an hour, which is more than what we're recommending. So as we mentioned before, we realize that there's going to be aspects of your workloads that aren't ideal to be covered from a savings plan. So we only recommend up to the amount where we're going to be able to increase your savings. So now that we have a good understanding of what our savings will be, we're going to go to the utilization report. So to give a quick overview with the utilization report, what the utilization report allows you to do is to see how well you're utilizing the savings plans that you've already purchased. So of the eligible usage that you have, it'll be applied against the savings plans that you've purchased. If you look at the, we'll start with the KPIs. So of the savings plans that you've purchased that are being covered today, I have $227 worth of on-demand spend equivalent. I've actually spent $149, and then my net savings for on-demand is $78. As we scroll further down, you can see we have both the table view and the graph view. I'm going to go to this month's view here and show you at the daily rate. I've been 100% utilized for the entire month. So with the graph view that you're going to see above, it's an aggregate view for utilization for all of your savings plans that you've purchased. But if you want to filter by specific savings plan type against a linked account, region, or instance family, you have the ability to filter by those dimensions as well. And the table view is going to provide you the savings plan ID, the account type, as well as the utilization, total commitment, and net savings. So switching over to the coverage report, you're going to see the coverage report is going to give you your metrics for, of the eligible usage that could have been covered by a savings plan, how much of it is actually covered from the savings plans that I've purchased today. So again, I'm going to go to the view for this month because I want to show you the recent launch of Lambda and how that you can have your Lambda usage apply. So all of the Lambda usage back to the 1st of February is going to be eligible to be covered from a compute savings plans. So you can see here that my average coverage is 24%. My potential savings versus on-demand is $88. And then I have $477 worth of on-demand spend that is not covered, but eligible to be covered. So if we look here with the graph view, again, we are aggregating the coverage against all of the savings plans that you've purchased. And when you look at the table view, we're actually going to filter this by service. And then we get more granular for instance family, if it's applicable, region that it applied to, as well as your savings plans covered usage. So now that we have the utilization and coverage report down, I'd like to move to doing an individual purchase that's not based off of a recommendation. Now, as Pranesh mentioned, you can purchase savings plans in both your linked accounts as well as your payer account. We have the payer account view here, but you can purchase the same, your purchase options are the same regardless of the account type that you're purchasing in. So let's say that I wanted to do an EC2 instance savings plans. I know that I have a specific region and instance family that I want to cover. So let's say that we did in US West, Oregon, and I want to cover C5 usage. That's the instance family. And then I can now commit to an amount that makes sense for me, let's say $5. And if I have a $5 hourly commitment with an all upfront option, you can see that I would owe $43,800 as I go to checkout. Pranesh mentioned with partial upfront, you're committing to at least 50% of the commitment amount, but you can commit up to 99% of the upfront cost to a partial upfront. So depending on when your fiscal year ends, or if you have an additional dollars in your budget and you want to be able to maximize savings, but you can't do an all upfront, you can still achieve savings using a partial upfront up to 99%. From here, I'd like to go to the inventory view. So the inventory view allows you to take a look at the savings plans that you've already purchased. So I have 2 savings plans that have been purchased in this specific account. They're both compute. And then I can see both the commitment that I've purchased, so 10 cents an hour. They're both active. They started on the 16th of December, and they're both 3-year terms. So this view that you're seeing right here is for my individual account. If I made a purchase within this account, shortly after purchase, I would see this inventory view updated. For folks that are in a consolidated billing family, you also have the ability to see your organizational inventory. So this inventory view lets you see holistically across your organization what's being purchased. If there's going to be any excess float, you can take a look and see what the savings plans that are being purchased outside of your account. So with this specific account, this is the only, I'm already in the pair account view, so this view is going to look the same. But again, if you're trying to get a sense on what's being purchased within your inventory view, this is an opportunity to do that, not just in your own account, but across all the accounts in your CV family. If you're looking for additional details, we highlight the KPIs that we think make the most sense. But if you're looking for additional details for a specific savings plan, you can simply click into the savings plan ID and you get this detailed view where we give you things such as the account name, and then if you're looking at your month-to-date metrics such as net savings, utilization, and commitment amount. And with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Pranesh to wrap everything up.
Thanks, Matt. So I hope this gives you a good understanding of savings plans, what they are, how they work, and the experience of purchasing and using them in AWS Cost Explorer. So let's recap what we've learned about savings plans so far. It's a new pricing model that will provide significant savings, just like EC2 RIs, in exchange for making a $1 per hour commitment for a 1 or 3-year term on EC2, Fargate, and Lambda usage. We offer 2 types of savings plans. The first one is compute savings plans that is applicable across EC2, Fargate, and Lambda. And compute savings plans offer savings regardless of the region, instance family, size, tenancy, and operating system. The second type of savings plan is EC2 instance savings plans, which is applicable to a particular type of instance family in a given region, and these offer similar savings as standard RIs. Savings plans are available in all AWS commercial regions except for Beijing and Ningxia. It is also available in the AWS GovCloud regions. And there's a really simple purchasing experience for you to get started via AWS Cost Explorer. So log into your console, see your recommended commitment, and you can easily get started with savings plans. So with that, we'd like to wrap up our session for today. We're here to answer any questions that you might have, so please feel free to pose your questions. Thank you.
Thanks.